Hello, viewers. Hope you are doing well. Welcome to the pages of the past. So, what would you say if I told you that history isn't about dates and wars, but about human mind? That's what Fustel de Coulanges believes. So, let's see what you will learn from this lecture. Watch till the end and it will amaze you. So, here's your outline. You are going to learn who was Fustel de Coulanges and his view of history, applying his idea to Old English, Middle English, and Renaissance literature. So, Fustel de Coulanges, the historian who took history out of libraries and brought it to people's homes, fire, and beliefs. He was a French historian and was a religious scholar born in 1830 and died in 1889. His most famous work was The Ancient City, which was a study about religions, laws, and institutions of Greek and Rome. His theories were controversial, but his theories opened new lines for the research. So, Fustel de Coulanges, who believed that history's true object of study is the human mind. For him, history was not just about listing wars, kings, and economic data, but the real thing was to see how people of that time thought, what they believed, and what they considered sacred, because that way of thinking is what creates law, politics, and society. For example, according to Mark theory, German people had communal lands, then it became private property, and this is the economic evolution. But Fustel D criticizes this theory. He said that take the documents and see what people thought about lands. He said that in old charters, the word mark means boundary and private estates, not communal lands. So, in this way, he refuses the Marx theory. Let's apply his idea to Old English, Middle English, and Renaissance English literature. Old English and Fustel's view. So, the minds of the people of Old English literature period were shaped by fate and warrior loyalty. They believed in a fatalistic, communal, and heroic worldview. For example, in the text of the poem Beowulf, the minds of the people were occupied with fame and outlaw's death. But Fustels believe that this is not permissive poetry, but it's a mind that hasn't separated the individual from the tribe. The people of that era believed that God is seen as warrior lord. Now let's talk about Middle English literature and Fustel's view. The people of that era were highly impacted by the church and court. They were in a tension between feudal duty and Christian doctrine. Latin and French influence break down the narrow-minded Anglo-Saxon worldview. For example, in the text of Canterbury Tales written by Geoffrey Chaucer, the minds of people became plural. You get 30 voices, each with a different social role, morality, and self-justification. But Fustels believed that this was a mind negotiating between two systems, feudal honor and Christian universality. Now, let's end the lecture with Renaissance English literature and Fustel's view. The people of Renaissance period discovers the self and the cosmos. The minds of the people of that era were moving from medieval certainty to humanism, curiosity, and focusing on the individual. For example, soliloquy was the literary form of the mind of the people of that era who were observing itself. As their minds were weakened by Copernicus, Reformation, and exploration. But Fustels believed that this was the moment when English minds shifts from I am my role to I am my will and reason. So that wraps up our look at the Renaissance and how it shifted focus to individual and the self. I won't be making another video on this specific view, but I will make the next video on a new period of English literature. It might be Middle English literature again, or we will jump forward. If you want to see where we go next, don't forget to subscribe my channel Pages of the Past and hit the bell icon because it's your love and care. So goodbye viewers, we will meet in the next video.